Imagine waking up one day and realizing that everything you were taught about money was incomplete. Not wrong, just incomplete. And before we dive deep into this powerful journey, if you're someone who truly wants to change the way you think about money, not just feel motivated for 5 minutes, but actually transform your financial future, then consider being part of this community. Subscribe, not just to follow a channel, but to invest in your mindset. Because here, we don't chase money. We build the thinking that attracts it. Today, we're rediving deep into one of the most influential financial books ever written, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. A book that has changed millions of lives not because it gives complex formulas or secret stock tips, but because it changes how you see money at its core. The foundation of this book is built on a simple but powerful contrast. Robert Kiyosaki grew up with two father figures. One was his biological father, highly educated, respected, holding a stable government job. The other was the father of his best friend, less formally educated, but a successful entrepreneur and investor. Kiyosaki calls him his poor dad and his rich dad. His poor dad believed in the traditional path. Go to school, get good grades, earn a degree, find a secure job, work hard, and climb the corporate ladder. Stability was everything. Avoid risk, save money, trust the system. His rich dad believed in something completely different. Learn how money works, build businesses, invest, take calculated risks, and make money work for you instead of working for money. This difference in philosophy becomes the heart of the book. One of the first major lessons is this: the rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. Most people grow up learning to exchange time for money. You work 1 hour, you get paid for 1 hour. If you stop working, the money stops coming. That's the trap. Rich Dad taught that the goal is not to earn a paycheck yet, it's to build assets that generate income whether you are working or not. And this leads to the most important concept in the book, assets versus liabilities. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. It sounds simple, but this idea is revolutionary. Many people think their house is an asset. They think their car is an asset. But if those things are costing you money every month, mortgage payments, maintenance, insurance, then, according to Kiyosaki, they are liabilities. The rich focus on acquiring assets, rental properties, businesses, stocks, intellectual property, things that produce cash flow. The middle class often focuses on acquiring liabilities that look like assets. They earn more money, then upgrade their lifestyle, bigger house, better car, more expenses. Their income increases, but so do their bills. This creates what Kiyosaki calls the rat race. The rat race is the endless cycle of working to pay bills. You get a job, you receive a paycheck, you pay rent, loans, credit cards, you have little left. You feel pressure, so you work harder, aim for promotion, earn more, but then your lifestyle expands. More expenses, more debt, more pressure, and the cycle continues. Rich Dad taught that escaping the rat race requires financial intelligence, not just hard work. Financial intelligence includes understanding accounting, investing, markets, and the law. It means knowing how to read financial statements. It means understanding cash flow. It means recognizing opportunities where others see risk. Another powerful lesson from the book is about fear and desire. Kiyosaki explains that most people are controlled by two emotions, fear and greed. Fear of not having enough money drives people to seek job security. Desire for more money drives them to work harder and spend more. These emotions trap people in the rat race. Rich Dad encouraged learning to control emotions instead of being controlled by them. When you feel fear, instead of running away, educate yourself. When you feel desire, instead of spending impulsively, invest strategically. There is also a strong message about education. Traditional schools teach you how to be a good employee. They rarely teach you how to be an investor or entrepreneur. Kiyosaki doesn't say education is useless. He says financial education is missing. He emphasizes the importance of learning about money independently. Reading books, attending seminars, starting small businesses, learning from mistakes, because mistakes are part of financial growth. In fact, Rich Dad believed that failing is essential. The difference between rich and poor is often how they respond to failure. Poor Dad feared mistakes. Rich Dad saw mistakes as lessons. Another major concept is mind your own business. Most people think their business is their job, but Rich Dad said, your job is your profession, not your business. Your real business should be building your asset column. Even if you work a 9-to-5 job, you should be investing in assets on the side, slowly, consistently. This could mean starting a small online business, investing in stocks, buying a rental property, building digital products. The key is to shift from being only an employee to becoming an owner. The book also talks about taxes and corporations. Kiyosaki explains that the rich often use corporations and legal structures to reduce taxes legally. Employees earn money, then pay taxes, then spend what remains. Business owners and investors often earn money, invest and deduct expenses, then pay taxes on what's left. Understanding this difference can significantly change financial outcomes. Another powerful idea is that opportunities are everywhere, but most people don't see them. Why? Because they are trained to look for jobs, not opportunities. Financial intelligence helps you see what others miss. Throughout the book, Kiyosaki repeats a key mindset shift. Instead of saying, I can't afford it, ask, how can I afford it? The first shuts down your brain. The second forces your brain to think creatively. This shift from a passive mindset to an active mindset is perhaps the most transformative lesson of the book. Now, it's important to say that Rich Dad, Poor Dad is not a technical investing manual. It won't teach you how to analyze stocks step by step. Instead, it builds your financial foundation. It challenges your beliefs. It questions the system. It pushes you to think differently. Some critics argue that the book oversimplifies financial reality. Others say some stories may be exaggerated. But regardless of those debates, the impact of the book is undeniable. It has inspired millions to start businesses, invest, and take control of their financial futures. At its core, the book teaches this: wealth begins in the mind. If you think like an employee, you will likely remain dependent on a paycheck. If you think like an investor, you begin searching for assets. If you think like an entrepreneur, you begin creating opportunities. The difference between Rich Dad and Poor Dad was not education level. It was mindset. And that's where everything begins. So as we close this deep dive, I want you to reflect on one question. Are you building assets, or are you building expenses? Are you working for money, or is money working for you? The journey to financial freedom doesn't start with millions of dollars. It starts with the decision to think differently. If this summary opened your eyes even a little, imagine what consistent financial education can do over time. Stay connected, keep learning, keep building, because the most valuable asset you will ever own is your mind.